Now, I want to welcome to the program the brother of Brian Terry, Mr. Kent Terry. Kent, thank you so much for your time today, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Cam.
You bet. And you know, we've been covering Operation Fast and Furious and the story of your brother and what has happened, why his death took place, and the lack of answers that your family has found, and really the lack of answers that the American people have been able to get from this administration. And so you have written a public letter. And what are you asking for, Kent?
I'm asking for special prosecution for the agents involved in starting Fast and Furious. Agent Newell, Voth, McAllister, McMahon, to hold them accountable for these deaths. Death of my brother, Zapata, the ones just recently we heard about in Mexico, and the hundreds of families that lost lives over these guns, and the hundreds more that are going to happen in the future. So,
you say in your letter, Mr. Holder commented on the verdict in the Trayvon Martin death. He said it was unnecessary and shouldn't have happened. My brother Brian's death was one that should not have happened, and we get nothing from Eric Holder. You know, I remember a moment in the middle of the investigations. It was not the first hearing by a long shot when a lawmaker asked Eric Holder, "Have you ever expressed your condolences to the Terry family?" And he kind of hemmed and hawed, and ultimately the answer was no, not really. Does it seem like your government, Kent, has tried to downplay and minimize and brush aside your brother's death?
Oh, absolutely. They know it's bigger than what the American people know it's big, but they're downplaying it, and they're downplaying it horribly. And it's just not just Fast and Furious, but Benghazi too. And it's sad. It's sad because these guys deserve answers. They earned it. They took a bullet for it. So,
have you spoken at all with any of the whistleblowers that brought this case to light? Guys like John Dodson and others who appear to have actually suffered some of the worst consequences of anybody involved with Fast and Furious.
I talked to Dotson last year at my brother's station opening. He showed up in honor of my brother, which I thought it was outstanding. And I had a chance to talk to him for about 5 or 10 minutes. And, we didn't really talk about the Fast and Furious. I just mostly asked about how he was doing and stuff like that. But we didn't bring up nothing about the case in the Fast and Furious. So, but outstanding gentleman.
What do you think about the job that the House Oversight Committee has been doing in their investigations?
I think Dowdy and ISA have done an outstanding job, but I think their hands are tied at this point until Obama releases the documents. I think him doing an executive privilege is it's put everything on a hold, and that's what I feel. But other than that, they're doing an outstanding job. I mean, they want justice for a lot of things. So,
when your family heard from the Attorney General, when he finally expressed his condolences for your brother's death, did you have the opportunity to ask any questions of Eric Holder?
Well, first of all, we'll get this straight here. He's never contacted our family. Eric Holder has never contacted. So, he wrote a letter after the fact on Congress Hill, asked if he apologized to the family. He wrote a letter about a week after that. But we never got the letter direct. It was to the lawyers. But, no, we never heard from Eric Holder at all.
Wow. So it went through the attorneys there?
Yes. It never went to my mom's family, my dad's, or me. We never got a phone call. And we got the only phone call we got was from Obama, and that was at my brother's funeral. He called, paid his condolences, and that's it, but nothing from Holder.
I thought when a soldier died in the line of duty, Kent, you usually got a letter from the president, or you used to get some sort of official recognition. It seems to me that your brother died in service to this nation, and that this administration has never really recognized that sacrifice.
No, and that's what makes me sad when I heard about. I'm sorry Trayvon Martin lost his life. Nobody should be ever killed in that situation like that. But you know what? For them to jump on that bandwagon and use it as a tool is sad, and that just shows you how much respect they got for Americans. They took it and they've seen it and they're going with it just to get everybody off the scandals that's going on in the U.S. and that's sad.
So what does it take to get a special prosecutor? Is it going to be ultimately the president himself would have to appoint one, right?
Well, yeah, well, that's my thing. I'm going to keep reaching out to Congress and hopefully and then Senate, and hopefully they can get something going. And like I said, these agents and Holder and Dennis Burke, and they all need to be charged because people are going to die. And I hate to say it, and more law enforcement in this country is going to die because of these weapons. So, and they're working this way. I just watching a thing the other day on TV how the guns are pushing their way back into the United States. So,
well, listen, Ken, I cannot thank you enough for speaking out and coming on this program, sir. And I want you to know that you and the Terry family, you've got a voice here.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it, Cam.
Absolutely. It's really good talking to you, Ken. Thank you so much.
All right, God bless.
You too, sir. Ken Terry, brother of Brian Terry, with us here on Cam and Company.